We talk quite a bit here about representation, and most recently, we've really been digging into how we as Black people are represented in what's becoming an elite group, homeowners. Home ownership is the symbol of the American dream, a rite of passage, and the foundation for generational wealth creation. But Black and brown communities have been boxed out of purchasing homes, both by a government who sanctioned all sorts of discriminatory policies like redlining, and by banks whose lending biases disproportionately disqualify us from actually acquiring mortgages. Sure, there are a handful of privileged people who can pay cash for property, but for the vast majority of us, no mortgage, no home. Applying for and qualifying for a mortgage is one of the most daunting processes to navigate. Banks know that, and I always wonder if the complex and intimidating underwriting process is designed to scare off first-time home buyers. After all, we learned from the housing crisis, it's clear that some banks do take advantage of first-time home buyers. Politicians have made some theater of the crash and made some examples of some of the bad actors. But through it all, the reality is that nothing has actually changed in terms of how we access mortgages. So how do we actually disrupt the discriminatory lending process and create more equity and mortgage access? Joining me tonight to discuss this and more is Patty Arvielo, the co-founder and president of New American Funding, a direct mortgage lender that serves more Black and Hispanic borrowers than almost any other institution. Patty, so excited to have you here with me tonight. And I got to say, I'm so intrigued by your work because you are in an industry that has a really bad rep, and yet you've been doing some amazing work helping Black and Hispanic people get into homes. So I'd love for you to start off by telling us a bit about your fund and your lending philosophy and how you're helping people of color break through a system that, frankly, was designed to box us out.
Thank you so much for having me today. Really, thank you for using your platform to escalate this really big message, because it's, when you fall into a business that you're passionate about, this isn't my work, this is just what I'm about. Listen, I grew up Latina. I have a front row seat to discrimination. My mother was discriminated in front of us children for my entire life. So, while I won't pretend that I know other sensitivities around discrimination, I certainly do know what it means to be Latina in this country and watching my mother be discriminated my whole life. So when I fell into housing at the ripe age of 16 years old, I quickly found out that I could really make change. So it's been a passion of mine to serve the communities of color. And I've been serving the Latino community for much longer, but I actually was challenged to do what I was doing in the Latino community for the African American communities around 2016. So I started an internal committee called New American Dream, and I pulled in every Black employee I had, every Black leader at my company, and we got on before Zoom, got on a phone call, and I said, I need you to help me. We need to disrupt this industry. We need to get Black and brown homeowners the same rights as white homeowners and make it the process easier and unintimidating. So it's just really been a passion of mine.
And tell us a little bit more about those stats, just in terms of what your fund has been able to do in terms of actually serving Black and Latino buyers, because it sounds to me like your numbers are really great. And I would wonder, why can't big banks actually get to the place that you are?
Because they're not minority led. Listen, you have to be mirrors to the communities you're trying to serve, right? I'm a Latina serving Latinos. I have a huge amount of passionate Black employees that are there to serve the Black communities. I decided that if we want to serve Black and brown communities, we need to be in the communities. We need to be seen, we need to be heard. Obviously, I can't run mega commercials. I still today sit as the 17th largest independent mortgage lender in the United States of America. Yet, unless you've met one of my wonderful practitioners, you haven't heard of me. So, we really do try to engage on media platforms, in the news, social media, to really let people of color know there is product. The myth around 20% down is wrong. We actually, I'm really proud to announce, we just launched a program a few months ago called Buyer's Advantage Program. And what this does is you call New American Funding and you pre-qualify for us, and we will let you get the funds to purchase a house as a cash buyer, so you don't get beat out by other all cash buyers or other buyers who have a larger down payment than you. So we're really trying to move the needle for access, right? Getting in front of the line, getting the homes that we want first.
And it's so interesting because what you're talking about is trying to innovate around the model of the way that lending has always been done. And we know that mortgage lending is biased by design. So talk to us a little bit about how the automation and the evaluation of loan applications ultimately reinforces bias, and what's a little bit different about the way that you manage through your underwriting process.
You know, I think that the problem is, and why I keep saying we want to catch up, right? There was a lot of things that pushed Black and brown home buyers behind white home buyers as far as access to capital and equity building and even generational wealth, right? Inheriting that home from your parents or your grandparents is pretty much non-existent in Black and brown communities. So I've been doing this 41 years, and the automation piece of it has really, there could be benefits in the long run. But right now, what I personally see is everybody's so quick to get the loan closed so fast through automation. Well, automation takes the nuances in Black and brown communities out of consideration. The way we save, the way we spend, the way we work is not being considered in automation today. So I feel like the reason why New American Funding has done such a wonderful job of increasing home ownership to both Black and brown communities, and by percentage, we are the largest lender in the country to both communities, is because we do a lot of manual underwriting. We still do a lot of manual underwriting at our company. But this is where, Aisha, I brought up policy. Why lenders in my model, and I'm an independent mortgage bank, so I don't hold deposits. I'm not a bank and I'm not a broker. But the reason why a lot of lenders in our model don't want to do this type of lending is because of fear of regulators coming and knocking on our door and penalizing us for taking risks. So this is where I'm saying we need policymakers to have us at the table when they're writing rules around enforcement. We can't be scared to do the type of product we need to move the needles in the communities that we're trying to serve. And the banks are a good example. They've walked away from this type of financing because of the meltdown and the penalties. And it's riskier business by virtue of the way it's being messaged out. I don't see it that way. The products I'm using today are the same products I've been using for 41 years. FHA financing, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. So I can still keep continuing to move the needle at my company. This should be an industry-wide comfort zone. We should be comfortable in making decisions around manual underwriting, around considering the way Latino and brown communities save, the way we spend, the way we live our lives are different than the white communities. So that needs to be considered when we look at loan repayment history or the way we're qualifying our borrowers.
Absolutely. I always say that, you know, a FICO score is neither here nor there. If you've got a grandma that has been paying her rent on time for 15 years, she definitely is a credit-worthy borrower, whether or not she's got a long history that plays into a FICO score. She pays the bills on time. So what does that even matter? I want to talk to you, Patty, about this idea of building of movement. And I always resonate to that when I hear you, speak about your company and the work that you do. You are building a movement around home ownership, and in doing so, helping to bridge the racial wealth gap. And surely you do it by helping people buy homes, but you also are creating career pipelines for folks of color. So talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so when I started to really work on the mission to serve the communities of color, I looked at our industry and I started to dig into data, and there were very few Latino and African American loan originators in our country. So we started a school at New American Funding where we train people right out of college, sometimes right out of high school, even sometimes in jobs where I personally might meet somebody with an extraordinary personality and I will recruit them into our industry. Because what they don't teach is this industry has zero glass ceilings. I have loan originators making 6-7-figure incomes and serving the American dream, right? We have a movement and we're excited and we're passionate about it. We're going to HBCUs. We're letting everyone know that this industry is here. And I'm just excited that I fell into it. It's honestly been a gift to me and my family. I feel like there's still so much work we can do, but I'm excited around it. I feel like this generation is excited about making change for their parents and their grandparents who didn't get the opportunities to own their own dirt in this wonderful country, right? So I'm excited.
Patty Arvielo, co-founder and president of New American Funding, thank you so much for breaking it all down for us tonight on Amplified. Appreciate you being here.